There's a lot of things that can cause us to fail in the market. Most of them are pretty easy to fix. You could learn how to adjust your position size so you don't blow up your account. You can learn how to exit a trade properly. You can learn how to exit on the way up or exit at a loss and cut your losses quickly. Something that's not so easy or straightforward to fix is your mind. So in this video, I want to give you 5 key ways that you can strengthen your mind and end up being successful in the market. The first thing that we can do to change our mindset, both in the immediate term as well as over the longer term, is changing our environments. So, well, what does that mean? Not just talking about the physical space, but that's going to be part of it. Part of it is putting something up on the wall. Part of it is going to be having a space that inspires or makes you feel good, feel positive. But it's not just the physical space. The physical space is pretty simple. It's also going to be the people that we hang out with the most. Maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's coworkers. Who are the people that are in our immediate space? We need to call everything and audit everything and see, where are we getting positivity from? Where are we getting negativity from? And what can we do to change the balance of that, so that way positivity is way up here and the negativity is almost out the door? What are we consuming? What are we, not just food, although food and health, that's very important as well, but what are we consuming in our minds? What are we watching? What are we listening to? What are we reading? All of that is very important. In the time that we're living in, you have the choice to watch, read, or listen to pretty much anything you want. Why not fill things in your mind that will give you a more positive mindset, that will allow you to go further, that will strengthen your mind? Too often we find ourselves in escapism, something to make us laugh, something to make us forget the day, something to make us look forward to the weekend. You know, it's funny, I just thought of something that Gary Vaynerchuk says quite often. If you're not familiar with who Gary Vaynerchuk is, definitely go check out his channel. He's fantastic. But something that he has said multiple times is that way too many of us are only living about maybe 40 or 30% of our lives, whatever the math works out to. We're only waiting for the weekend. It's like way too much of our lives that we're just kind of struggling through and are upset by and are uninspired by. We're not here for that long, right? In the grand scheme of things, we're only here for a blink of an eye. What the hell are we doing if we're not enjoying every moment? That's the kind of mindset that we need in order to be successful in anything. What we consume, the people around us, both in our physical space as well as in our virtual space too. I'm right here with you guys, and I'd like you to be right here with me too. Whatever we put in our environment, whatever we put in our minds, whatever we're listening to, whatever we're reading, those are things that are affecting our mindset. And therefore, we need to audit what's there and be very selective about what we place in our environment and try to skew that scale as much into the positivity as we possibly can. The second thing that we're going to want to do, we need to challenge our beliefs. Every single one of them. At the most basic level, one by one, we will want to write out what our beliefs are and analyze them. And we will want to see if this is a belief that serves us, that carries us forward, or if this is a limiting belief and holds us where we are. Are these beliefs negative? Are they positive? Do they get us to where we want to go? Why are these beliefs there? Where did they come from? Did they come from our early childhood? Are they a belief that we got from a friend, a relative, someone that we look up to? How are these beliefs serving us? We need to question all of them. And I'll give you an example. So I recently started working with Jay Rise on Evan Carmichael's team. Fantastic guy. Definitely think that you should go and check him out too. I'll include a link somewhere up here or definitely down in the description. But at the core of what I thought that Chart Your Trade was, even challenge the name. What does the name mean? Is the name inspiring? Does that speak to that? And initially, I felt a lot of resistance. I was very proud of Chart Your Trade and where we came from and everything that we've accomplished over what's been about 6 years. And it's holding on very tight to the name. But what does the name mean? Why should I be so attached to a name? Why should I hang all of my own personal accomplishments to a name? We need to call all of our beliefs and analyze our beliefs and really think deeply about our beliefs and really everything. What do we believe about markets? Why do we believe that a moving average matters? Why do we believe that certain fundamental criteria matter or don't matter? How does that serve us? How does market health matter? Why does it matter? Why do we believe the things that we believe about markets? Put all of them down. Put all of them on call. Is this a good belief? Does it serve me? If so, how? If this belief doesn't serve me, why does it not serve me? Why am I holding on to this belief? Hold both beliefs in your hands and then try to reconcile them. It's going to take a while for you to do this, but the exercise will be worth it. The third way to strengthen your mind will come as no surprise to you if you've been watching for a little while. The third way is going to be meditation. Now, meditation is still relatively new to me. I've been doing it now for about 4 months, and I've been doing it every single day. Over the past, I'd say, maybe 30 to 45 days or so, I've been doing it for about 20 minutes every single morning when I wake up. And it's something that I found helps clear the mind. It helps me answer much deeper questions. There's almost a lot like there's two different kind of minds. At least that's what this app that I've been using called Headspace talks about. Like there's the little mind and then there's the big mind. The little mind is more of the analytical mind, the mind that's constantly trying to think. Then there's the big mind that is more of the consciousness, that's more observing thoughts. It may be odd to think about. It was odd for me to think about this at first too, but we're not actually our thoughts. We are the consciousness of our thoughts. Tony Robbins had said that every thought has already occurred. So they're not really our thoughts, they're just thoughts that are out there that we're tapping into. And whether you believe that statement or not, it's a very interesting concept. Most things, out of how many billion people are on the planet today and how many billions have been on the planet before us, how unique are the thoughts that we're having, right? And unless if we're on the very cutting edge of technology or doing something that is truly, truly extraordinary, most of the time, the thoughts that we're experiencing have been experienced by other people too. So thinking of it in that way, that we are the consciousness of thoughts and we can sit and observe the thoughts as they pass, it allows us to look at them a lot more objectively. That's something that meditating daily and using the Headspace app has really taught me how to do, and it's helped me see things a lot more clearer. When I first started meditating about 4 months ago, I had a lot of resistance to it. I thought that this is going to be a waste of time, but let's try it out. The first session took me, it was about 3 minutes. That's how Headspace does it. It's guided meditation and it walks you through step by step. And the first one was 3 minutes, and 3 minutes seemed like forever to just sit there with my eyes closed, focusing on breathing, and then scanning through the body, just kind of like with my eyes closed, just scanning and focusing on different parts of the body, different sensations, sitting in the chair, hearing the sounds. That 3 minutes seemed like forever, but it was a very calming exercise. It was nice to take 3 minutes out of the day and sit there and just focus on me and on the meditation. Then over time, I bumped it up to 5 minutes, then to 10, then to 15, and now at 20, and 20 minutes goes by like that. There's been research and studies done that meditation grows different parts of the brain that allow us to synthesize data, that allow us to have an expanded level of consciousness, clarity, all these kinds of things. Like, it's not just fluff. This stuff is real, and I'm talking about that not just as somebody that's read this in a couple of books, or somebody that's read this on somebody else's website, but from my own experience, these are the things that I'm experiencing. So I would highly, highly recommend that you give meditation a shot. The fourth way to strengthen your mind: build routines. Something that most recently I read it again in this book right here, Extreme Ownership: How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win, by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. Routines save us when we implement them. When we are on autopilot, and sometimes we need to be on autopilot. That's different levels of consciousness to do something that is extremely challenging for us in this moment and requires a lot of concentration and focus. It can be mentally tiring. When something is a routine, we're able to do it and do it effectively, and it can be almost on autopilot. When we feel like we don't want to do something this day, especially if it's challenging. If we don't want to get out of bed, if we want to hit that snooze button, if we don't want to get up and meditate, if we don't want to go out and run and exercise, if we don't want to study markets, if we don't want to analyze markets or do the work or put in the orders, if we don't want to study because it's too hard, I don't have the time, there's too much going on today, I'll do it tomorrow. When we have routines and these routines are cleanly laid out, we have the time. It's a matter of having priorities. And so, when we build our routines, we can build our routines to account for moments of weakness. We can build our routines to handle the unknown. We can build our routines for those little fires that pop up every so often, or perhaps more often. And we could start to build routines that will get us to the next level. My own routines have saved me on more than one occasion, more than on 100 occasions at this point. There's been times where I wake up, I don't want to put in the work. I just want to go back to bed, hit that snooze button, do the work some other time. But the routine saves me. The routine, I tell myself, no, get up. If you need to rest, rest tomorrow, but not today. Not today. Go through the motions. That's what Jocko talks about. You don't have to be a Navy SEAL to have solid routines. You don't need to be a Navy SEAL to have discipline. You do need discipline and you do need routines if you want to succeed and get to that next level. It's so vitally important. Build your routine, build it around what you want to achieve and for your current circumstances in life. And step by step, you will get there. And the fifth way for you to strengthen your mind is through consistency. Consistency sort of goes hand in hand with your routine, but it takes it to a different level. You can have a routine, you can have it written down, but if you don't follow your routine, if you don't follow your plan and you don't do it consistently, if you hit the snooze button, if you take today off, you don't follow the plan, you are letting yourself down. It's a terrible way to start the day. In a video that Evan Carmichael put out, and I'll link Evan's channel somewhere up here down below, incredibly motivational guy, you just go check out his channel. He was talking about hitting the snooze button and that it is a habit that most of us have. Most of us find it hard to wake up in the morning. And then we looked at that belief and that action and challenged it, right? Well, why did we set an alarm to wake up at a certain time? Why not just set a little bit later? Why do we want to hit that snooze button? When we set the alarm and we want to get up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., hell, get up at noon. When we set the alarm and it goes off and we tell ourselves, nah, wake up in 5 more minutes. wake up in 10 more minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour. What are we doing? We are telling ourselves that it's okay to get up a little bit later. It's okay to not hit that goal. And then how are we starting our day? We're starting our day off with a big fat L. We want to begin our days with a win. We need to practice not hitting the snooze button. We need to get up. We need to be consistent. If we're not able to be consistent, it's a little self-destructive to start kicking ourselves and, telling ourselves that, hey, you're a loser. Don't do that. That's not the solution. The solution to that would be to examine, why do we have trouble being consistent? What other things, what are the other things in our environment, in our minds? What are the things that are causing us to be inconsistent? Maybe it's the plan. Maybe we made a routine that's an aspirational routine, but not something that fits where we are right now. This happens in trading all the time. This is something that would happen to me over probably, it took me about 5 years or so to figure this out, that everything that was written in such a variety of trading books like How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill, books like Super Trader by Van Tharp, books like even Mark Minervini's books on how to trade. All of them are phenomenal books. All of them outline great routines, things that work, things that worked for them, things that allowed them to have outstanding returns in the market. But when many of us try to emulate those, most people fail. Why? Why do they fail? The outline is there. Why do they fail? Part of it is that they cannot stick to the routine. They cannot stick to the plan. They cannot be consistent. My workaround for that, my hack, if you will, was to figure out a way to make it consistent and make it consistent for me, and for that to fit into my lifestyle. And once I was able to do that, once I was able to filter out a lot of the things that were unnecessary, filtering out the things that could work for me and with my beliefs and work with my lifestyle and everything else going on, family, work, friends, leisure, all those things, that's when I finally started to have success in the market. Why? Because I was being consistent. Consistency is essential to building a strong mind. The market is going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you to your core. It's why most people fail in the market. The way to be successful, the way to win, is to strengthen your mind. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, leave it down in the comment section below. I would love to hear what parts you found helpful. How else would you strengthen your mind? Did I leave out a 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10? If you enjoyed the video, click that thumbs up button. That would really help us out a lot. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that way you get every single update. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care and have a great day.